Hello, my name is Peter Scholey and I represent Just Lead. The purpose of this video is to show customers and alike the way that we flash chimneys. Thank you for joining us. We've constructed a mock-up roof and chimney at ground level because it's easier for us for filming rather than taking cameras up on scaffold, but the principles remain the same. Okay, you've got to this stage. Next thing I want to bring to your attention is the positioning of the flue liners. This particular one comes up in the centre of the stack with the sockets looking up, and the reason for that is when you introduce the next one, any condensation or anything coming down here can run down the flue rather than soaking into the brickwork. On many occasions you will find that the liner comes up above the level to which you want to put the DPC in. Now if this is the case with the modern equipment we've got, the liner can be put in, this can be flushed off, and when it's got off it can be cut quite easily using a diamond cutting disc. When you're building the chimney, get some idea of where the roof line hits the chimney. As you can see from here, we're about 4 or 5 inches down, which is okay. You don't want to be any closer than that, and indeed you don't want to be much higher. Somewhere around about between 4 and 6 inches is ideal. Now what we're looking at now is a product that we manufacture. It's called a chimney tray or DPC tray for a chimney. It's painted black, and the reason for that is to minimise the amount of staining on, so it will come out on the front area and then run down the roof. We've got the tray, we've got the flat area here. I'm going to put some mortar on there, and once that's on, this will go on. We check that it's in line with the existing flue. We check we've got a minimum of 50 mil around these sides, and we possibly a little bit more on the front, and 50 mil at least on the back. If the chimney were coming up through a ridge, we'd have more on the back, the sides would turn up, and both this side and that side would go down. But more of that in a few moments. And now that we've got the tray bedded on, the next step is to lay some work. I'm no bricklayer, but I'm going to attempt it. But there's 1 or 2 points that I'd like you to watch. We've put some mortar on there. The next thing to do, we can introduce the liner. Remember, spig it down. Now the DPC upstand comes inside the liner, and the reason for that is any water entering the flue will pass down there and go between the flue and the liner, find that its way on the DPC and out through the front. What we like to do, what a bricklayer should be doing, is a piece of cable or something, piece of rope, lay it on there, and that will be held between the bricks. Once we've got up a couple of course and the stuff's still wet, we'll move it out of the situation and form in weep holes to allow any moisture that's still in the stack and hit the damp proof course to actually pass out through the front. As you can see, the rain's coming down. We've left our piece of rope or cable, whatever you're going to use, in there so we can get our weep holes. And what you need to do then, when the stuff's gone off a bit, give it a little turn round and just pull that out, and that should allow you to carry on with the confidence that you know that any water that gets trapped in the chimney can get out. Now you can see the level of the tray sticking out the front there with the black on, and it's passing through, and you can now see how it is on the inside. And what I'd like to do is show you now how to fold the tray to stop water coming in the roof and drive it towards the front. The method we use is the only time you use this method on sheet lead, and once demonstrated you'll find it quite easy. Now you can see the tray at the moment is flat. You need to clear all the crud and muck that the bricklayers may have left in there sometimes it's more than just wiping your finger on it. You may need to just loosen it with a bolster with your hand, sweep it out, the dust out, and then you're going to bend the sides up. Both corners on the back would have to be done, but I'm going to demonstrate on this. Take the lead up, and simply what we call dog ear the corner, and then either that way or the other way turn it round. Any water that's coming down through the brickwork comes down, hits the tray, and is forced out through the weep holes onto the front apron and then down the roof. We put in the DPC tray, and just to show you how that functions, to stop water permeating down into the roof, the flashings stop it going down the sides, but this tray will stop any dampness from actually entering the building. And to demonstrate that, there's my watering can. I'll just pour the water in the chimney, and what we should see is the water coming out through the weep holes. And you can see that any water that goes in comes down, hits this lead membrane and comes out and through the roof. I mean, this is an exaggeration obviously, but over the course of a day in torrential rain it soaks into the brickwork and can come through to the inside of the building. This is more apparent nowadays because we build rooms in the roof and this sort of thing where there's only probably 9 or 10 inches between the outside area of the roof and the actual inside of the building where we're living. So if you've got dampness in the chimney, you may find that by putting in a DPC tray it will cure the problem.